How many of you struggle to let go of your earthly possessions or things? I know that I certainly do. A few years ago, my husband and I went on a family vacation, and when we arrived at our destination, we realized that all of our luggage had been lost. And I instantly felt like our trip had been ruined and there was no way I could enjoy myself without all of our things. And so this made me realize I really have a deep attachment to my personal belongings. And on Sunday, we looked at the story of someone who struggled with something similarly to me. The name of the person was the rich young ruler, and we read about his story in Matthew chapter 19, and it goes like this. Just then, a man came up to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me about what is good?" Jesus replied. "There is only one who is good. If you want to enter life, keep the commandments." "Which ones?" he inquired. Jesus replied, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, honor your father and mother, and love your neighbor as yourself." "All these things I have kept," the young man said. "What do I still lack?" Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me." When the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Truly I tell you, it is hard for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven." When the disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished and asked, "Who then can be saved?" Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." So the rich young ruler was not able to inherit eternal life because when Jesus asked him to go and sell all of his possessions, he realized that he couldn't do that. And the reason why this is because wealth ruled the heart of the rich young ruler. And so similarly to this, we looked at a story of a man named John D. Rockefeller, who was actually the wealthiest man in American history and in all of modern history. He was interviewed and asked the question, "How much money is enough?" And his response was, "Just a little bit more." And this story is so mind-blowing because the richest man in all of American and modern history still wasn't even satisfied with the amount of money that he had. And just like the rich young ruler, he had wealth, but that wasn't enough to satisfy him. And so we looked at these stories on Sunday and really asked ourselves the question, who or what was ruling the heart of the rich young ruler? Who or what was ruling the heart of John D. Rockefeller? And who or what is ruling our heart? And so I want to ask you that question. Maybe it's not wealth. Maybe it's like me from my story at the beginning. Maybe it's your things, your earthly possessions. What is it that's ruling your heart? If it's anything other than God, we're missing out on the greatest gift, eternal life.